Good evening. My name is Sandra Craig, and I represent the Etiquette Foundation of Illinois. You are watching a live interactive call in television program brought to you on CAN TV 21. Let's talk etiquette. During the next 25 minutes, my very special co host will be none other than that dynamic man himself, Mr. Nathan Wright.
Why, thank you, Sandra. What a wonderful compliment you've given me. And I just love it. I appreciate being here with you, and you're just such a great host.
Well,
So
thank you.
I'm
Thank
honored
you.
to be your co-host.
I agree with you. I am. Thank you.
Yes.
To our viewers and callers, please call in with your questions at area code 312-738-1060. 738-1060, area code 312. Our topic of discussion today is Illinois' concealed carry versus civility. Yes, Illinois' concealed to carry versus civility. I know you have comments and questions and concerns, so please call us again at area code 312-738-1060. Our phone lines are now open. Okay, Mr.
Yes.
Wright, back here again with you this week.
We are. Absolutely.
And, last week, Mr. Wright, we were talking about Christian civility.
Yes.
And we may have had some viewers that were not tuned into us last week. So for them, would you please define Christian civility?
Yes, Christian civility is really based on the history of this country and its culture and its heritage. This country was founded on Christianity. And so we felt like it was so important for us as a people, as a nation, as a civilized society, to reconnect with that history, with that heritage. And so we decided to coin the term Christian civility. And hopefully those who are Christians and the ones who aren't Christians, but who are citizens of this Christian nation, will then reconnect with that concept, that idea, that virtue. And so Christian civility, we are encouraging everyone out there to discover it, promote it, get involved with it. And I think that we will be a much better nation if we reconnect with that idea, that concept.
I agree. Mr. Wright, I believe we have a caller on the air.
Yeah, for the time being, I think we need to be out there and try to police ourselves because the police can't do it all. And there was another thing I wanted to ask. Where do y'all get that beautiful reggae music from? I would really love to have that reggae list. Nice
It's
day.
all over. It's with us 24/24.
Okay.
Great question, though. He's one of those who obviously believe that this is a good thing, concealed carry. And of course, Illinois is the last of the 50 states to actually bring that into law. But we feel like it's so important that we reconnect with civility because, as you well know, Sandra, incidents that occur out here with people with firearms on them can become very volatile. It doesn't take very much when you're carrying a weapon to feel macho, to feel like I'm not going to accept that, I'm not going to take that, I didn't like how he looked at me. And so this could escalate into violence and someone being shot to death.
Yes.
And so this is why we want and encourage those to reconnect with civility, be kind, be courteous, be considerate, and all those things to de-escalate the possibility that you as a citizen with a weapon would not result to using it. And that's the key to what we're talking about.
I agree. I believe we have a caller. Caller, you're on the air.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Wanted to, make a comment. Carrying firearms, would you say it creates a false sense of, security?
Yes. It does.
I
think so.
When to have a firearm, you feel one way, powerful, but then when you can't carry it all the time. at one point or another when you can't not wearing it or not carrying it.
Right.
You know, you're gonna feel naked or so. You know, you got to go back and forth.
Go back home and get the gun.
Pretty soon there's some kind of mental illness going to
right.
sit in.
Right. Well, I understand exactly what the call is talking about. I have relatives now. I have never carried a firearm, but I have relatives in my family. They can't go out. And this is years ago, of course. This is not in contemporary times. Back in the 50s and 60s, when you can go to a pawn shop and buy a firearm, a pistol, and they carried pistols like it wasn't nothing, to be packing. And I had an uncle, he couldn't go anywhere without his gun. He wore holes in his pockets.
Oh, goodness. From carrying his gun?
Carrying his gun. And so he had a 32 snub, and that was his baby. And so, I understand exactly what the call is talking about. You do get a neurosis from carrying it. You don't feel safe and secure if you don't have it with you.
And that is such a frightening thought. Such a frightening thought that I need to have a gun on me before I leave home. That is a frightening thought to me.
It's like, for instance, like you and I, we live in the suburbs. But when we drive in the city, we have to be on high alert, just mentally on high alert. And you know that feeling when you come into Chicago and you're into certain neighborhoods, you just be on alert. And it's not because you necessarily fear for yourself, but you have to be on alert. As opposed to in the suburbs, you ride around, you drive, you park your car, you leave the doors open, you don't fear, you aren't concerned about being accosted. But in the city, you have to have a different mentality. And so with a city like Chicago, the most dangerous city in the country, the most violent, just recently, this past week, 4th of July weekend, we had 129 shootings, 14 people shot to death. And now, and of course, those people don't have a problem with conceal carry. They always conceal. And now they have a law on their side saying that you can carry a weapon. So twice as many people are going to be armed, and that's going to increase the homicides in the city of Chicago and in the state of Illinois, unfortunately.
Yes. Mr. Wright, I believe we have a caller. Caller, you're on the air.
Mr. Wright, I live in the Inglewood area. Have you ever been surrounded around a pack, like a pack of wolves, and people trying to harm you? And you talk about there's a time and place for civility, and you got people that's not being civil to you, and they're all about harming you. And you got people that got that mentality where they have the right to take it, including your life. There's no communicating with somebody like that, whatever. And I have been in situations like that. And if I could, I would move out of my area where I live. I live in the Inglewood area, but nobody willing to buy my home and all that. And I try my best to sandbag myself, because before I was saying a lot of times I stay in my home, all right? I have been in a situation where somebody broke in my home. Fortunately, I was able to, let's just say, they didn't get judged by the 12, they was carried by the 6, and I had no problem with that. You got people around here that got a different type of mentality. And I was one of the people that saying that, well, a couple years ago, bring in the National Guard. Now, since the crime is going down, I think when they start allowing people to carry a concealed weapon, if they be trained properly and everything, and go through the background search and everything, the number's going to go down in terms of crime. Just like auto theft went down, because people got GPS and stuff. It's going to go down. Just watch what I say. It's going to go down.
I don't know if that has been proven out statistically as of yet, as far as crime going down, but will the homicide rate go up? The Trayvon Martin is an excellent example of someone with a firearm in their possession and the urge to use it. And as you well know, there are people who drink alcohol and do other kinds of drugs who are going to be carrying firearms, and they're really very lethal weapons. And it doesn't take a lot for someone to overreact or for a situation to escalate out of control. And if you're carrying a weapon, you may think the other person has a weapon too. And so we have the Wild Wild West all over again, who can draw the fastest, okay? And so do we want to have that kind of society to live in? And then innocent people are endangered as a consequence.
And unfortunately, what's been happening, I've been hearing on the news that people that are carrying weapons are shooting at one individual and they usually wind up shooting someone innocent, mostly children, innocent children. So I
Yes.
really can't see this concealed to carry causing crime to go down. It's going to go up, and we're already in trouble.
Yes.
Anytime you can have that many people killed in a weekend, shot,
Yes.
that's ridiculous. I don't. To me personally, I don't even know why they had to vote on that.
Right.
I don't understand it, but
Right.
I mean, I'm just one person.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
I thought it was we already know what to do. No, you can't conceal a weapon, you know,
Right,
but
right.
like I said, I'm only one person. Mr. Wright, civility is a social discipline. Is it on the rise or decline?
To me, to answer that question, it is really on the rise. This is why we're talking about this subject.
So
This is why-
civility is on the rise? You
No,
believe?
I'm sorry. I apologize. It's on the decline. I misunderstood.
Because the media has reported lately on numerous occasions that crime is down. If that's correct, I'd like to know what part does civility play in the decline?
Yeah, I'm sure there is a part that it plays, but we don't have the data to support. We only know that it has declined according to the statistics, and I question those statistics. Really, I do. When you look at what happened last week with 129 people shot, it doesn't seem to suggest that there's been any decline. But maybe in terms of other kinds of crimes like burglaries, home invasions, auto theft, there are all kinds of criminal behavior, and maybe overall it is down. But in the critical areas that we're talking about, I think that it may not be down at all. We're only encouraging people to be more mindful of their manners,
Yes.
to be more considerate, to be more polite,
Yes.
so that you won't create a situation that may cause a conflict with someone who has a firearm. And this is what we're trying to stress, and this is why we're advocating civility at a higher level today than ever before. And actually, the law should have included training, etiquette training, civility training to those who want to carry a firearm, because they're the ones that more than likely are going to be hostile because they have this macho, they have this gun. I can stand my ground. And
Oh, that brings me to this point. Mr. Wright, I wanted to ask you this. Now, if we had more people considering and practicing respect for human life, for a human being, I just wonder how much our crime rate would really decline. If we thought before we pulled the trigger or we pulled out that gun, if we thought and respected the person and ourselves that we are aiming this weapon at, knowing that we could end this person's life.
yes,
Just thought about it for a minute. How many lives would still be, people would still be here? How many lives would be saved? I know for a fact that I'm sure Trayvon Martin's mother wished that Mr. George Zimmerman had taken a minute to think before he pulled his gun on
Yes.
her only son.
yes.
I'm sorry,
yes.
her son Trayvon. She does have another son, but I'm sure she was wishing and hoping that somebody would have thought before he acted. And that's what we teach our children. Think before you act, because
Absolutely.
sometimes you don't get another opportunity.
And he did not get another opportunity. And sometimes it's just a matter of saying, I'm sorry, excuse me.
Thank you.
I apologize. Sometimes it's just that easy to de-escalate a situation that may be getting out of control. And this is what we're asking our citizens to do, to exercise more civil discourse. Do not be so quick to get hostile or to feel insulted when you know this situation can be one which you could lose your own life. It's just not the fact that you
There's
have
no
a gun.
guarantees
Right.
when you engage in a violent dispute. There are no
Absolutely.
guarantees
None.
who's going to walk away.
Absolutely.
Both lives are in trouble no matter whatever happens.
Yeah.
Both lives are in trouble.
And other innocent people may be affected
Yes.
and lose their life.
There are going to be other innocent people affected. Their families are going to be affected.
Yes.
Yes. I believe we have a caller. Caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, good evening to both of y'all. Now, they always talk about violence, right? They always talk about gang-related. What about police-related shooting? And then what about people who rob people? Why they don't protest like Father Flater and Roddy Man, Pat Quinn? Why they don't say nothing about that when police do something and robbers? But they always talk about gangbangers. Y'all doing a good job.
Okay, thank you. Good call.
Yes.
The question regarding if someone is going to rob you, more than likely they're going to have the element of surprise, and you could have a weapon on you. But if someone has their gun drawn on you, you would be absolutely crazy to try to pull your gun to outdraw this person. You're asking to be shot, and so I would not encourage anyone, even if you do have a gun. If the person has his weapon pointed towards you, don't do anything to get yourself killed. Give them whatever they want and hope they won't do anything to harm you. And that would be my advice to that person. As far as police shootings, yes, we do have an inordinate number of shootings by police. But by and large, they are afraid. They are really afraid. They know that most of these communities, most of the people, many of the people in gangs are armed. And so they're more quick to overreact than perhaps the average person would be. It's a dangerous job. You know, you out there, you had to go into situations. And that's not to excuse the shootings that we have witnessed in recent years where it did not look like it was definitely a justifiable shooting. And we're very sorry about that. And I know the families are very sorry about losing the life of a family member.
Yes.
But what do you think about that question?
I'll give you a comment a little later.
Okay.
I have a few points I would like to make on that. But I believe we have a caller.
Yes, good afternoon. And Mr. Ray, I just said the same thing in the last segment with the congressman. If someone put a gun on you, I wouldn't care if you have dynamite, machine gun, or anything. Ain't nothing you could do. But again, you know, let's just get to this point. One thing, we know we live in the city of Chicago. McCarthy cannot come and tell me that the crime rate is down unless he's judging disorderly conduct or something of this nature. I mean, common sense. More people are being shot here than over there in Afghanistan. So anything that man say, matter of fact, I don't even want to read the articles about that. But let me tell you something that you got to else put on your plate. Police officers. Let me tell you something. If I was a police officer, and now they talking about everybody could carry a gun, the name of my game is to get home to my family and wife every night. Do you think, just think about it, you're a policeman, you stop a car here, this man been drinking or whatever, sometimes alcohol and craziness is the worst, it's just the worst thing in the world. But I'm going to shoot you, man. I'm going to shoot you because I want to come home. I don't know, a policeman, the most important thing that a police officer carries is not the gun, but the almighty pen, what he writes down, what he says, but to justify it. But just imagine how they've been talking about now that the police is overbearing and shooting. What they going to do now? I mean, what they going to do now? You know what? Again, is it a good situation? Sure. If I got it in my house and I see someone coming in, if I got to walk around, go to a restaurant, and carry a gun to go to the restaurant, I might well just stay home and cook. Create my own restaurant and whatever. Because people is truly going to be scared.
Yes.
I mean, more people. And let me tell you something. It's going to be people carrying guns are scared than anyone. They are the one that's going to be very dangerous. I hate to say it. Is it good? I don't think so. Maybe if I had to look at it, again, just the name of it is for me. I want to get home. When I leave out of my house, I want to hurry up and get back home. So, carry your guns all you want, but I'm telling you, I think it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. I heard Joe talk about other little things. I understand it, Joe. I truly understand it. You telling me you are legally blind and you're going to carry a gun? Shit, you're going to be shooting at a wall and hit the car. It just don't work, man. It don't work. Best thing you talk about Christian, that's what we started off. Right. Every day I leave out of here, I pray to him, cover me, get me my butt back home, and I'm all right. I got a few friends of ours. We go to the range, and there's one, he's been shooting for the last 6 years. He can't hit that paper. But he tries. He truly tries. But, you know, come on. Think about the police. Just think about the police. And that's enough to scare me. Right. But listen, I don't want to, I'm talking too much.
I really enjoy having you call.
I enjoy your show.
Thank you.
Let me get off so I can hear your response. Right. And thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and he makes a good point with that, going to the range. I have done that on a couple of occasions with some friends who invited me out there. It's very hard to hit that paper at 50 yards, and that's a pretty wide piece of paper. And you're absolutely right. And, you know, people with these concealed weapons have these very short barrels. And I know you know what I'm talking about. The rifling in the barrel determines the accuracy of the missile. The missile, I'll call it that. And the longer the barrel is, the more accurate the gun is. Okay.
Yes.
But the shorter, the least accurate it is. So you have this little short barrel, and then you're shooting down 50 yards. You can't hit that paper that's 12 by 12. So you know it's more than likely you're going to hit someone else across the street or go into somebody's house and kill somebody in bed or kill some child. Now, do you want to be responsible to call yourself defending yourself where you done shot someone or shot some of these projectiles go through one person and travel down the street and hit another person, kill them. Yes. So they're just that powerful. So it's going to be a different time in this state and in this country under these conditions. As we get poor too, poverty is going to play a big part in this. Believe me.
Right, and I was just thinking, when the caller was talking about the restaurant, now I've got to think when I go to the restaurant, how many people in there have a gun?
Right.
You know,
right.
I never thought of that before.
Right.
But now I know that you can conceal a weapon. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking this lady over here, she might be mad at somebody, and I say something, I look wrong, and she pulls out the gun, you know, right. And I'm going to be thinking about how many people have weapons in the restaurant. How many? Now, what about the show? What about the movies? Theater, right. I go to the. Oh my goodness, this is something to think about. Yes. Really, seriously.
How many people in here have a weapon? Have a gun?
This is a big movie now, big movie theater now. How many people in here have a gun? You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't know.
And I think they can carry these weapons in churches, inside of taverns, and places of that sort. They're not going to be searched to go in a tavern. You can sit there and drink. You come out of the tavern drunk or half drunk. You think this person poses a threat to you. Your eyes are blurry from the alcohol, and your mind isn't clear. And this person's coming towards you, and you wonder, should I be getting my hand on my pistol so this in case and then the gun go off and shoot you.
You know, I just see a greater need for civility.
It is.
I see just a greater need for civility, a greater need for respect of human life. I myself am wondering, we live in a time now where people voice their opinions, they protest. I want to know where the protesters are for the civil rights. And when I say civil rights, I mean the right to cherish another life, the respect for human life.
Not being promoted.
The right for our children to have an opportunity to grow up and live.
Yes.
Where are those protesters? I just want somebody to tell me, where are those protesters? I see the protesters for this person's rights, this person's rights, this organization's rights, but I see nobody protesting about civil rights, the rights for our children to live, to grow up.
Right to be secure when you walk out into the public and not fear being shot by your citizen, your neighbor, just catching a stray bullet, you know, while you drive along or ride along in your car. So all of those things now is just going to create more stress in this society and more anxiety. That's exactly what's going to.
Well, I want to see the protesters for that, Mr. Wright. I do. I'm one of the protesters, but
we are.
We're one of the protesters.
Right.
We're a team of two, but we need other people out here that are protesting for civil rights, the right to live, the right for our children to grow up.
Yes.
And have an opportunity to have a productive life.
Yes.
Because their lives are getting snuffed out at an early age. I mean, starting at 6 months old. Come on now. Something's wrong with that.
I agree 100%.
Yes. Unfortunately, Mr. Wright, I don't know where our show went, but
gone.
it's over.
Right.
And we have callers waiting. But I want to thank you for being my very special co-host this evening.
Very pleased to be that.
Very good topic, I must say myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm looking forward to being here with you next week.
We will.
Okay. And to our callers and viewers, I thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk Etiquette. I apologize to the callers who we were not able to take your calls. We only have a 25-minute show, but please tune in next week, and we promise to have another exciting topic for you. I just ask that you would have a safe weekend, and that you would practice your manners, and that you would think about what it is you could do to bring civility back to this city, to your community, to your family. Good night, and have a safe weekend.